All right, Big Morgs. How are you, bro?
Good, bro. You?
Good. All right, we're finally getting this podcast done. We've been talking about it for how long now?
We have, bro. It's been a while.
I think about like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, minimum. All right, today I think what I brought you in for today is just because of the attention to detail you put into the jobs and the problems that you see on a daily basis, especially when talking to me when I come out to site. It's a problem in the whole industry. No one knows how to deal with it, or if they do, they're silent about it. Mm-hmm. And even if they do deal with it, no one knows about it. No one knows how to fix it or stuff like that. So just first off, do you want to introduce yourself?
So I'm Morgan. I am the owner and director of Flex Membranes.
The one and only.
The one and only. My background's carpentry and remedial. Probably about 15 years in the industry. Currently doing my building license as well on the side as running my own business and waterproofing. And we're just taking it from there.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so let's get stuck into it. So let's talk about Brighton.
Let's talk about Brighton.
Let's talk about Brighton. It was a recipe for disaster.
It was.
And then you came in like Superman.
Well, did.
Fixed everything.
So it was my first class 2 roof when I first opened up my business. Everything went really, really well, all the application. But 3 weeks after the job finished, there was still a little bit of moisture trapped in the screed. So I got a fair amount of pinholing, gassing, bubbling through the layers. And I probably spent about 2.5, 3 weeks up there rectifying it myself, at my own cost obviously. Wore it on the chin. Got everything fixed, got everything signed off. It was a declared design as well. Yep. So, and then just moved on from there.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a big part in our industry when people try and cut corners to save costs, especially when defects are present. It really separates the craftsman and tradesman from the cowboys.
Yep.
Sometimes you got to be willing and understand that you're going to take a loss. Sometimes it's a part of the game. It's a part of the business. It's how you work around that and what you do really defines who you are in the industry, I think, and I'm seeing a lot more of it, like a lot more people trying to save costs. Obviously it's getting a bit hectic at the moment.
It's a bit tough at the moment, yeah.
With fuel increases, tax increases, inflation, it's definitely hitting a lot of people, and it is hard. Don't get me wrong, it's very hard, especially for builders who are in fixed price contracts. But like we've just gotten out of COVID, out of all the issues that brought on. That ran for a couple of years after, with obviously wages, workers, skilled workers, everything shot up and nothing went down. And now it's about to happen again. So I understand that like it's difficult sometimes to keep with what you want to deliver.
And follow the procedure. Mm-hmm. Follow that procedure because you're on that job and it is a declared design. You can't just rush the process. Everyone just wants to rush the process.
Yeah, of course.
It's crazy. Example as
it's crazy.
When we inspected that job, number one is you had to grind off all the membrane 100%. There couldn't be any existing membrane. It's very hard to find someone that grinds off 100% of the membrane. Number two is when they do the screed, engineered screed is preferred. And then they do the screed, they leave it exposed for like 2 weeks. Then it rains. Obviously the water's gone through the screed. It's sitting on the non-compliant falls underneath the screed, so the water's just ponding there. Then they see the first sunny day, they can't put their membrane on. Exactly then a pin holes through the epoxy primer, but then they say, oh look, I did 2 coats of epoxy primer. But it doesn't matter because the epoxy primer only works after the curing stage, not during the curing stage. 100%. So there's a misunderstanding about curing times as well. And then obviously that transfers into a pinhole, moisture comes up. Obviously if you don't get any pinholes to begin with, 2 weeks later, they come back to a job, there's bubbles and pinholes, or let's call it bubbles. It's because that moisture is evaporated finally from the sun. Yeah. That's sitting on that slab between the screed and the slab. That was always water ponding there. So there's a lot of variables that people got to consider, and the builders are pushing you, right?
Always, bro.
They're pushing you. They got to get it done. The tiler's got to come in. The fencing guy's got to come in. All that bullshit that's involved in it, and then you end up with the rectification, like you said, 2 weeks of rectification work had to 100%. Be done.
But like what you just stated there, like a builder's job realistically is to project manage and schedule. That's That's their main job.
Yeah.
You know, and then obviously the tradesmen come in: waterproofing, electrician, plumber, carpenter, all the other boys, concreters. It's up to the builder, obviously, who he puts on and how he wants to keep schedule. But the team that's working underneath him, whether they're all separate businesses or not, need to understand and establish themselves to work together as a team as well. Not just worrying about your job and getting in and out. It's also thinking about the next bloke. So it makes the whole program run easier. And it's better for the builder, it's better for you as a business, it's better for the client. I really, really get frustrated, man. Like, it's probably one of my biggest pet peeves in the industry when we're constantly getting pushed to finish projects in time because they've scheduled wrong or someone out.
Or they've scheduled before the job's even started.
Yeah.
Not allowing for shit to hit the fan.
100%. And like every job's different.
Yeah.
Every build's different, whether it's for the same builder or multiple different builders. It doesn't matter. Every single job is different. And, you know, we all need to be knowledgeable in certain items and aspects during our job to know that sometimes you're not going to meet a deadline. And that's all right. As long as the job's done 100% and done correctly. If things need to get pushed back, things need to get pushed back. It doesn't mean you should be cutting corners to meet an unrealistic deadline. Like, I think it's one of the biggest contributors to defects in our industry for sure, you know.
I think a major problem is the rain in Sydney too. How many rain days have we had?
It's crazy, bro.
It's a waterproof nightmare.
You've got 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah.
You know, so it definitely makes it difficult. But then as well, that goes back to knowledge and what systems we can use. There's a system for everything. You know, as you know, obviously you guys have a system for every single type of application there possibly is.
Yeah.
And obviously with installers, it's our duty of care too to make sure we read the TWS, go over the data sheets, contact you as a supplier, speak to you about items, speak with the builder. We've also got to be informative about these things too and bring these up in our industry because way too many guys just stay silent. They want to get it in, get done, get paid, get out. And unfortunately, like, that's how you lose money.
I think as well as, like you said, how many times do we speak in a day?
Oh yeah, bro. I'll do your head in.
No, but it's a good thing because then a lot of these trades, they say they've been waterproofing 10, 15 years. Their pride takes over. They run into a situation. They won't call us or call someone that knows what's going on or might have a better idea, understanding of the situation. And then that pride takes over and then they continue the job and then they get failure points and then it just causes conflict between the owner, the builder,
yeah, 100%.
all that kind of stuff. So especially with declared designs now, everything has to be on point. Everything takes forever. You stuff up once, the whole thing, it's like a domino effect after that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
100%. And it's a very different type of install. So obviously outside of declared designs, a lot of people want to do isolated repairs, try and fix it, get in and get out, you know. But with a declared design, you need to know what you're doing. You need to know what works with what. And from step 1 to step 10, grinding back all your substrates, making sure everything's 100%. You're going back to bare bones, back to the very start. You've got to do your 180 or 1/104s, depending on what area you're covering. Yeah. Everything needs to be 110%. You can't cut any corners. So I think the declared design aspect in what the building commission is doing is really, really good. But in some ways as well, obviously how we've got cowboys in the industry, I think it's a bit of a cash grab in some aspect. Some people trying to play it.
And delays the job.
Massively.
Waiting for consultants to get their shit together.
Massively.
Like that, yeah.
It definitely makes it a lot more trickier. But at the end of the day, you know you're going to get 100% system at the end of it. Because it has to be. So I just wish that would carry out into all aspects of the work, not just declared designs. You know, I think all work being installed, especially in the waterproofing industry, should be treated the same. You know, it shouldn't only be 110% during a declared design because you've got numerous inspections. We should all do our own ITPs. We should all cover this anyway.
Yeah, it should be a given.
It should be a given.
Should be a given. We were doing it. I was doing it way like 2017, 2016 ITPs and stuff.
Yeah.
So when we were doing installation.
And it protects you as the owner. It protects the client. It protects the builder. It helps everybody. Helps everybody understand as well. You know. So I definitely think that needs to be looked at more too in our industry because not a lot of people are doing it. Not a lot of people are doing the ITPs outside of the clear designs.
Let's go from Brighton. When was that? 4 years ago? Maybe 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago, and look how you fast tracked to Coal Bay. Look at the difference in quality of work.
Oh, massive.
And the knowledge
Massive.
that you've gained
Massive,
in that
man.
3 years.
But
And how many jobs have been on with you since then?
Oh,
as
heaps,
well, the whole way.
heaps.
Coal Bay was a good.
Mate, I've really
It
loved,
was like a 100% job, that Coal Bay.
I've loved the growth
Yeah.
over the past 3 years, and just keeping up with all the changes, obviously within the NCC, Australian standards, but understanding as well, like, everyone wants to quote the Australian standards. It's a minimum requirement.
Yeah.
It's not based on the Bible, like what you have to do. It's not. It's a minimum requirement. People get it really twisted with the standards, you know. So it's
Everyone's got a different interpretation.
yeah, 100%. Everyone does, you know. It's definitely been a really busy couple of years growing within Flex. I'm loving every second of it. The knowledge that I've gained on every single job, you know, carrying it to the next one. Obviously, speaking with you guys 38 times a day.
39.
But as well, like, all the builders I've met along the way, and some boys do some really good work, man. Like,
Yeah.
some builders are really gaining the knowledge they need to gain as well to understand the waterproofing as a whole a little bit better and stuff like that. Like, they're really taking their time out. Like, for example, like pitching point, I'll do a lot of work with.
Yeah.
I'll do a lot of work with Archie Priest and DJB, Landmarked. All these main boys that I do work with, we're on the phone 24/7 during the project. At the very start of the job till the very end of the job. We're always discussing new systems and how to better incorporate certain items to make sure that job is more sustainable for everybody.
100%.
So it's good to see. Like, I definitely think over the last few years I've been really getting stuck into it. It's definitely a big part that I've seen that's getting bigger. So it's good. I think a lot of guys are listening, you know?
But you got the other side of it, where you're now losing work.
Yeah, 100%.
You're now losing work. We're also fighting for work.
Yeah.
Like, it's a price war at the moment for suppliers to get on jobs. It's not about the best membrane, best knowledge, support behind the membrane. Obviously, that comes as a given, or with us anyway.
100%.
But now that we also have to reduce our price while price is going up, we've got things to struggle with, levies, all that kind of stuff. And then that obviously passes on to you. You pass it on to the builder.
And you price yourself out of work.
Price yourself out of work.
You price yourself out of work, bro.
Because you want to do according to the declared design.
Yeah.
When you got people coming in, 1 coat of primer, 2 coat poly, hopefully it works.
Hopefully it works. No bond breakers above screeds, not even a primer above screed, 1 coat of membrane, they're out the door, bro.
Yeah.
See you later. Thanks very much for your small, medium-sized bathroom, $800.
Yeah.
Done. Bye. You spent
No moisture meeting tests.
No, nothing.
No nothing.
Like, it's definitely getting more difficult to price work, given that every internal, like for example, my system stays the same. It always does.
Yep.
It's always below and above. A dual system, it's 110%. I know for a fact that I'm looking after that for 6 years. I'm looking after an external for 10. I like to get my sleep at night. I need to make sure, me as the business owner, everything's in my name. I pay all my insurances. I'll cover all my overheads. But I want to make sure that over that 10-year period, that job is going to last longer. It has to. At someone's house.
Yeah.
They might be paying that off for 30 years.
100%.
How's that fair, bro?
100%.
How's that fair to cut these corners and do those things, you know? And unfortunately, yeah, sometimes it does get a little bit expensive, you know, because you're paying for that peace of mind. You're paying for that system. If you want to go down a cheaper avenue, no worries. Have fun with it. Have fun with that, mate, because I'll probably be ripping that up for you in 3 years.
Flex membranes, brother.
But that's it. Like, and that's what a lot of people don't understand.
It's the overheads.
Yeah.
Because material roughly, between supply and supply is roughly the same, maybe $20 to $40 a drum difference. It's not the end of the world. Obviously, It makes a difference at the end. Maybe a minor difference, but it's all the other overheads, which is, I think the biggest one is labour at the moment.
Labour.
Everyone is complaining about labour.
100%.
No matter what the industry is, everyone's complaining about labour. And when they do get them, they're $500 a day. And when they do pay them $500 a day, they're making $500 or $1,000 worth of mistakes. Because they have to continually
100%.
go. You might have 1 or 2, 3 main guys that are off their head, that fly through the work, don't have to check their work. But then obviously if you want to grow, you need another 3, 4 guys on your team. You need to constantly check after them.
Yeah, 100%.
You need to count those $500 days if you're doing bathrooms for $750, it doesn't make sense.
Of course
Unless you're doing it yourself and you want to make $200 out of a bathroom, different story. But when you're sending a guy the first day and the second day, 2 hours each day, you've paid him $300-400 just to do the bathroom, plus your material, you're at $700. So there's still guys doing it for $750.
And that's just the below application.
Yes, that's just below.
And then you've got another 2 days for the above.
Yeah.
During
And when they
curing
go
times.
to check the above, they're not checking shit. They're not checking if the screeds drumming, they're not checking any of that.
Nothing. They're just going to slap it on and go.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely been a lot harder for finding good skilled workers, you know. So, but we keep digging for the pile, bro. You know, I've got a couple of boys on now at the moment. They're really, really good. Taking my time with them, taught them the way that I like to do things through Flex. You know what we like to deliver. It's like punctuality, always 100% being on time, coordinating everything, communicating everything, making sure everything's 100%. Check everything prior to application. If one thing's wrong, don't be scared to walk off a job.
100%.
Don't be scared to walk off a job.
100%.
You're not just doing that for yourself, you're doing that as well for the builder and someone else, like the client obviously. Like, don't be scared to walk off jobs. I see way too many people, they just put up and shut up with it. And then they just start. Don't do that, man. If something's wrong and something's out and something's not going to work, the substrate needs more prep. A lot of people skip over, it's on slab, who gives a fuck? No, don't do that, bro. That's the foundation of this entire system.
100%.
Don't just go, who gives a fuck, let's walk off, it's going to get screened anyway. No. Like, that's just for an example. Like, prep is the main thing in waterproofing. It's not the application, it's the prep behind it. It's the substrates behind it that you're going on to. I'm a waterproofer, I'm not a renderer, I'm not a plasterer. If the job's not ready, don't just start it to start it. You know, unfortunately, sometimes you need to walk off work.
Yeah. Saying that, you're doing a dual system, right?
Yep.
So you only use cementitious water-based internal, yeah? So you do cementitious or water-based underneath, cementitious or water-based on top. Why are you doing both?
Why am I doing both systems?
Why are you doing both? Because compliant is compliant to falls, right? So
Compliant to
waterproofing
falls.
with compliant falls.
Compliant to falls is waterproofing, obviously on screed.
Yeah.
Not a lot of structures on their substrates have falls.
Yeah.
But regardless, I still like to make sure the whole substrate's sealed. If any water does, so hypothetically get through the first layer, if it does, it's not transferring to each individual room because it's sealed on the substrate as well. And that is the definition of waterproof in the NCC.
Yeah.
So from water to traverse from one room to another. If it can't do that, it's waterproof. So just on my base, I always like to make sure all the perimeters are 100% sealed, the puddle flanges are sealed, everything's locked in. Then screed, and then I do my dual system which wraps up the walls.
It's a precaution thing.
It's a precaution for me, bro.
Precaution
Like,
thing.
it's an extra cost, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a unnecessary extra cost at the end of the day, if you want to break it down like that. But I definitely think it's a worthwhile cost. Because either way, if I'm waterproofing above screed and it's connecting to my walls, that system is not going to fail. I'll make sure it's 100%. But if there's the slightest chance that something can get in, and say if it's above a habitable area, it's underneath a living room or another bedroom.
Something very important.
Something important. There's joinery downstairs, there's the kitchen downstairs. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you just take that extra 2 days? You know, it might...
Because it's compliant. It's compliant.
It's exactly right.
It says they're only membraning on top of the screed because the concrete FC doesn't have falls. So now they think that the membrane on top of the screed is compliant, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you, in the last maybe 1 year or 2 years, we've seen about maybe 15 failures. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but 15 failures is a lot of money worth.
100%.
Where they've membrane on top of the screed, proper system, epoxy primer, 2 coats water base. The problem was the corking. They have to get their 12 mil fillet. So they've done their 12 mil fillet, taken photos, ITP, Tyler comes in, he goes,
Ripped out.
he can't do his
Ripped out straight away.
He can't do his tiling because that 12 mil fillet is interfering with the tile now. 8 mil tile plus glue is only max 15, 14 mil. So what's he done is he's hacked at it. They've put their tiles in, no one knows nothing. They come, 6 months later, there's a leak. Why is there a leak? They come to rip up the tiles. They can't really pinpoint them because as they're ripping up the tiles, ripping up the membrane with it because it's glue. But they can start to see how some areas didn't have a smooth cove from when they coved it, and the MS has been chopped out
Yeah, 100%.
Whereas they should have been using bandage. When that comes as a knowledge thing now. So if you had that protection underneath, that
Right,
cement
see,
bed.
see what you just said then, it comes as knowledge?
Yeah.
I completely agree with that as well.
Yeah.
Because I was doing that at the start. I had no idea, but the skills that I've gained from when I started till now is a massive increase.
Yeah.
Because I've taken the time out to ask the questions and not be worried about it. You know, like I find a lot of people don't want to speak up and don't want to ask questions as well, you know, because they get slammed, especially in our industry, bro. Like there's a lot of Facebook groups for waterproofing, and as soon as you upload some of your work or
You see, you're dead.
or
They attack you.
right, you get smashed. But instead of that, why not give some advice, some unfiltered, proper advice, and support other people in our industry? Mate, you're not going to get every job in Australia. There's more than enough work for everybody. There's more than enough work for everyone to eat. There's no need to talk down on other people and throw shade at them. Instead, help them, give them some advice. That's definitely one of the main things that I learned in this industry is that the more questions you ask, the more you'll know as well, you know? Like, I think like just exactly what you said, man. Like it's a really big thing in our industry, especially in waterproofing. I find it, you know, there's a lot of shade that gets thrown.
It's
crazy.
just someone takes something that they heard and then they go push it that hard, and then obviously that's how the whisper starts happening and then moves on from that,
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I don't understand that at all. But yeah, back to the dual system. Yeah, for compliance, obviously, but as I was stating before, like I'm looking after it for 6 to 10 years. It's more than compliance for me, bro. Like I want to make sure that's going to be around for longer than Flex is going to be around, you know? So that's why...
People are also expecting bathrooms to be done for 850, 750, 850. When someone's doing a remedial work at a house, they're doing just a minor remedial work. Just for now, that's what they can afford. They're not going to go spend $1,400 on a bathroom waterproofing system, especially with all these price increases that are coming from left, right and centre from everyone. It's inevitable that it's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So do you in this case drop your price, lose money, or do you just not accept the work to begin
I
with?
just don't accept it, bro.
Yeah.
To be honest, I just don't accept it. My price is my price. And my price represents my system.
Yeah.
If you're not happy with that, that's understandable. Go with somebody else. It's not a problem for me at all. Because there's work everywhere, bro. There's work everywhere. The builder that won't accept that price, that's fine, because there's always going to be another builder that will.
Yeah.
And that understands it a bit better. So maybe the builder that won't accept that price needs a bit of time and needs to go through some more defects maybe and see what it's like.
Because they're paying for knowledge.
You're paying for experience, you're
You're
paying,
paying for
bro.
knowledge.
That's exactly what
You're paying for knowledge of the system.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
You're paying for knowledge of the system, you're paying for the experience, and you're paying for peace of mind.
Yeah.
You know? So I definitely think, yeah, man, I just walk off. Say no worries, thank you very much. Good luck, God bless you. Take it easy. On to the next one, you know?
100%.
That's it.
100%. So we're not doing bathrooms for 850. Scrap that shit. All right? We all understand why.
100%.
By the time it takes you to do a bathroom, you've been like there for 7 days. Anyway, below and under screed, caulking, bandages, all the detail, all the shit that comes along
There's a
with
lot
that
of trouble,
system.
there's a lot of labour involved.
Yeah.
100%.
And your boys are $500.
Yeah.
On top of it. How are you managing that 1,400 now with increases coming from fuel, increases coming from, example, us, increases coming from every single
But
supplier?
let's rewind for a second.
Yeah.
You're just talking about increases from you guys. Your increase has been a temporary 7% surcharge.
Yeah, temporary, correct.
At the
temporary.
moment, it's a temporary 7% surcharge.
Yeah.
And I just want to say one thing too. It's very honourable in what you guys are doing, because I know for a fact that you've copped a loss a lot prior to this. This 7% only got pushed out a couple of days ago.
Yeah, just last Monday they just passed.
This has been going on for a month, more, you know. So hats off to you boys for doing that. Like you've really helped me keep my prices sustainable where they're at the moment. I know a lot of other suppliers, I won't name names, but as soon as all this happened, increases across the board, 30%, 25%. Look, it's another thing with builders. Like they're locked in with fixed pricing, and then they're copping this at the back end of COVID, and now they're copping this. It's very hard to maintain pricing for quality, and it is. Like it's being made nearly impossible, you know. Yes. So I think it's a massive thing that what you guys are doing with the temporary. It's huge for me. So
we absorbed what we could
Yeah.
And then it got to a point where I couldn't absorb it anymore. Obviously, that the month that just passed where we didn't put up our
Yeah.
prices and everyone else did. Obviously, I wanted to be fair because we had stock that was already here, that already come from overseas. Containers landed, wherever we got manufacturing, we had stock already here before the price increase. So it was only fair to put that price up once that stock got exhausted, and then any new stock that came in, the price increase.
Yeah, see, that's unheard
So
of.
I didn't want to put a 7% increase on a stock that was already arrived and it cost me at that normal rate. So that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
So if I do good, I get good, sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Sort of thing. That's
100%.
So it is only temporary. I don't know when the war's going to stop, but I'm hoping it's about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
By what the stock market's saying and everyone else is saying. But if it does end in 6 weeks, that 7% is gone straight away.
Yeah, fantastic, bro. It's honestly fantastic. It's definitely helped me do it on either do it at a reasonable price. So it's good, man. Really good for the industry.
On the topic of cost and how everything's fucking through the roof, let's go from what actually costs money is waterproofing damages. So I know that we've seen our fair share of shit along the way.
Yeah, fuck.
And I know a bit of a headache job was that North Bondi job.
North Bondi was crazy, bro.
North Bondi, the guy had a waterfall in his house.
Mate, I got a call from a builder to come inspect and have a look and price up some remedial work. I said, you know what, no worries, let's take it on. I went outside, I met the client, I met the builder. Mate, the first second I walked in his house, 3 metres in the lounge room, his downlight's leaking, dripping water. I was like, what the fuck? It's 3-4 metres away from the door, from upstairs. It's crazy. Went upstairs, all the cavity flashings rendered over, membrane wasn't terminated correctly. Just everything in this balcony was wrong, man. No falls, ponded everywhere, no overflows, no sufficient drainage, no sufficient falls anywhere. It was crazy. So obviously we took everything up. I did 18 linear metres of cavity flashing. We took all the brickwork out. We did everything, the whole lot. I put falls on with Level X Pro.
Yep.
We did a blow on above application, re-rendered everything, took out all the balustrading.
There's a bit of work in that project, though.
There was a lot of work, bro. Returned everything down into the drip groove underneath.
Yeah.
Like we made sure everything was 120%. Not a drip of water went into this house. But seeing the damage at this client...
You even waterproof with the 300 and the cement. And it rained for like 2 weeks,
bro,
and there still was no water.
Bro, beautiful temporary membrane. Beautiful temporary. 300 and cement. Saved my life, bro. And it pissed down. It absolutely pissed down in those 2 weeks as well. That's why we stopped work, you know.
And there was no waterproofing. That was just that polymer liquid mixed with cement.
Polymer liquid, that's it.
Yeah.
But like, there's another perfect example. That's something at my own cost, out of my own pocket.
Yeah.
That I chose to do to make sure it's more comfortable, it's better for the client, I'm protecting the job. I've obviously taken up the substrate, I've taken up the waterproofing, the existing stuff that failed. That's at my own cost though. I chose to do that because I want to make sure we're doing everything we possibly can from start to finish to protect the building, the dwelling, making sure the client is on board with everything, you know. So after that whole job wrapped up, seeing the difference inside the house, mate, there was mould everywhere behind
Remember,
all
we
the
couldn't,
skirting
even, we
boards.
couldn't even walk in the house. It
Mate,
stunk like mould.
So
How are your
bad.
kids living here?
So bad. But like that cost from start to finish, and that's not even just my works alone. We're talking about all the internal, all the plasterboard's going to have to get ripped out, all the ceiling's going to have to get ripped out. You're probably going to have to reframe. There's going to be mould and rot. It's a massive cost, man. It's a massive cost just by at the start of the job not doing your terminations correctly into the cavity flashing and underneath it.
No one project managing.
No one project managing, bro.
No one
Just
project
cowboys
managing.
going in,
Yeah.
throwing an invoice out. Yeah, see you later. Thanks very much. Bye bye. You know, and this was 3 years later. Like it wasn't an old build. This has been up for 3 years, bro. It was crazy. Crazy stuff, bro.
I think the industry has done a massive flip from, let's talk about 8-9 years ago till now. Everyone knows what waterproofing is.
100%.
Everyone knows what a pinhole is.
100%.
Back in the day, we used to roll poly primer, 2 coats poly. There could have been pinholes, never know, but no one used to look for them.
No one did, bro.
So no one knew what they were. So even if they were there, you're never going to see them because you're not looking for them.
I think it
And no one's inspecting the work as well.
really tracks back. I know it's got nothing to do with waterproofing at the moment. I think it really tracks back to the is it ACM, the aluminium cladding, the fire combustible cladding?
Yeah, yeah. The Luca Bond.
The Luca bond. So when all that went up in London, obviously our government had a had a budget to take off here, but 60% of that budget went to waterproofing defects as they took off all the cladding around all the Class 2 buildings in Sydney. And that's obviously when the stats came out, 1.5% of building cost is waterproofing, but it covers over 80% of defects. And I think ever since that kind of hit, it really opened up a lot of developers' eyes, a lot of builders' eyes, a lot of project managers' eyes to see how really bad it was, But it's definitely getting looked at a lot more. People are really taking better steps because they're becoming more knowledgeable in the industry because there's more things out there now, bro. Like the amount of knowledge that you guys push out, not just as a supplier, but as like a leading hand in the industry that actually cares about installation, cares about systems. Like by far,
it's second to none. The team that we have going at the moment,
100%.
Rob, Chris, myself, and a few other boys. I think it's second nature, waterproofing.
Yeah, 100%.
Even when someone signs up to our training classes, in that training class, what they learn from Rob, you will never ever hear in the industry ever again because what Rob knows and how he explains it, he's so down to earth and so job site related that you just push that across all your projects.
Yeah, man. Rob's fantastic, bro.
Rob's hectic.
Rob's fantastic,
Rob's
mate.
hectic.
He's definitely got a few phone calls off me as well, But it's been good, man.
Yeah. So just wrapping up things, Morgan from Flex Membranes. Flex, the one and only. If you do need someone solid on your site and you do need someone to look after your job, he's not just a waterproofer, he'll look after the job from when he's there to when he's finished, make sure shit goes right. Flex Membranes is the one.
Awesome.
But we're going to wrap this up, Morgs.
Done, man. I
Thank
appreciate
you,
it,
I
bro.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me on board. I appreciate it, boys. And I'll see you at the next job.
Done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.